Jake here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we are taking a look at these Morimoto XB Hybrid LED headlights with black housings and smoked lenses for the 2011 to 2016 F-250 Super Duty. These headlights are an excellent choice for the Super Duty owner who's looking to upgrade the look of their truck while also drastically improving their headlight performance. In addition to bringing a more modern look to your truck with these dual LED projectors and the integrated LED daytime running lights, these headlights will also provide a significant upgrade in lighting performance over the factory units. Morimoto spent a lot of time and effort on these, and it shows. Everything looks and feels great. The black housings and smoked lenses look really cool, and they'll make a great complement to any color of truck. But the beauty is more than skin deep here. These lights again provide a significant upgrade over your factory halogens. The XB Hybrid series features dual LED projector housings, one dedicated for the high and another for the low beam. They cast a beam pattern that is clean, powerful, and bright, and these are really going to light up the road much more effectively than the factory lights. The Hybrid series does keep your incandescent turn signal bulbs right here in the center, hence the Hybrid name, but you still get the benefit of having those LED main bulbs, which will provide better illumination and also longevity when it comes to bulb life. So you sort of get the best of both worlds here. You save a bit of money over a full LED setup, and you get the benefits of having those LED main beams. The XB Hybrids also bring a much more modern look to your Super Duty. As you can tell, they're modeled after the 2017 and newer generation of trucks, and the integrated LED daytime running lights right here make a big impact on the overall appearance. And speaking of those daytime running lights, they also automatically dim when you switch on your parking lights or low beams, keeping them completely in compliance. Morimoto has also thoughtfully integrated both vertical and horizontal adjusters into these units right here on the back to ensure that you can get them aimed properly with little fuss. Now, as long as these headlights are aimed properly, they meet or exceed all DOT, SAE, and FMV SS108 regulations, making them fully street legal. So this is a much better option than just throwing some LED bulbs into your stock light housings. And they're not gonna flicker or hyper flash since they're designed to be LEDs from the get-go. Now, as far as construction goes, that's another reason that these are a fan favorite. Beyond just the looks, you can see and feel how well made these lights are. The outer housing is a UV-coated polycarbonate that's made to OEM standards. So that means these won't crack or fade like some less expensive aftermarket options. And the PPS plastic housing in the back is light and durable, and it's much stronger than other alternatives. The DRLs themselves are Orsum 5000K units, the same again as OEMs use. And you can tell that the fit and finish is excellent. They're all sealed up very nice, they feel good, they're not rattling or anything like that. So while you might be paying a premium for these, you will be able to see why. Now, about that price. These are going to come in around $925. And while there are certainly cheaper alternatives out there, they aren't going to have the same build quality or the level of features that these do. Morimoto does offer a regular XB series that are fully LED, including the turn signals, but they're going to cost you quite a bit more. So if you want a high quality, well-developed set of lights without getting too spendy, these are a great option. So let's talk about the installation. These lights come in at a 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty scale, and it should take you about an hour or so to complete. There are no permanent modifications required, and for the most part, they're plug and play. However, you will need to run one included cable to the fuse box under your hood, which is included with the kit, and you'll need to remove a few screws to take the grill off for proper access. Once you've got the old lights out, all you have to do is simply plug in a few things, these guys right here, and you'll be set to go. Before a more detailed guide on how to get these things installed in your truck, let's hop on over to the install bay and we'll walk you through it step by step.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, a ratchet, flathead screwdriver, an extension, a 10, 13, and 18 mil socket, and optional, you can use pliers if you don't have a fuse puller. What's up guys? Today we're going to be installing a set of headlights on our 2016 F-250 Super Duty. So let's get right down to it. Alright, so the first step's going to be to remove this grill. So we have 4 10mm bolts holding it in up top, and then we've got some clips on the bottom. So I use my 10mm socket to take these bolts out. All right, so now that we have our 10mm bolts removed, we can go ahead and pull back on the grill a little bit. And then we have 5 of these little push clips at the bottom of the grill. So you can get a flathead, push it in, and it should pop, and you can pull it out and repeat the same for the rest of the 4. All right, so now we can remove these next 3 push clips using our flathead. And then we'll hit that push clip on the other side, and this grill will just slide right out. All right, so now that we've popped our 5 push clips, we can go ahead and pull out and remove the grill. All right, so our next step is going to be to remove the stock bumper. We have 2 bolts on each side right next to the tow hooks. We need to remove to get this off. All right, so I'm going to take my 18mm socket on a 3/8 impact gun and get these bolts off. I'm going to leave one threaded just a little bit so it doesn't come falling on us when we try to take that other side off. And now we can repeat that same process on the other side. All right, so now that we have our 4 front bolts removed, we're gonna come down here into the fender well, where we have 2 more bolts. They're gonna be 13mm. And now we can repeat that same process on the other side. All right, so now with all of our bolts removed, we can go ahead and pull up on the front bumper. All right, so to remove the stock headlight, we have 4 10mm bolts. Our first one's gonna be down here. All right, and then our next 2 bolts are gonna be right up here. All right, and our last bolt's gonna be right up top. So now with all the bolts removed, we can pull our factory headlight out. And we can disconnect our wire harness. All right, so our first step to getting these headlights installed is we have to remove the factory blinker bulb and transfer it over to the new one. So let's get right to it. So to remove the factory blinker bulb, we're just gonna twist counterclockwise, pull right out, and then we'll just do the inverse of that on the other side. And just like that, we're ready to get this on the truck. All right, so our next step is gonna be to run our wiring harness. It's gonna connect into the fuse box. So for demonstration purposes, we're just gonna run it straight across, but when you're doing your permanent install, just make sure that the cords are free from any moving parts or any hot components. So we'll snake this up underneath our frame rail, over the air box, back to our fuse box. And then the shorter side is gonna be the driver's side. We'll leave that down here. And then we'll run this across the front, over to the passenger side. Now that we have our harness laid out, we can go ahead and connect up the first headlight. All right, so now we can plug in our electrical connections. All right, now we can install our headlight. So now we can reinstall our 4 10mm screws, starting with the top. Now we can get our 2 on the sides. And now we can get the last one on the bottom. And now that we have this headlight installed, we can go ahead and repeat that same process on the other side. All right, so now coming back to the fuse box, which is right on the driver's side, right underneath the cowl. I'm gonna remove the cover to the fuse box. So you have a clip on each side here. And you can just pull it right off. Now we're gonna be replacing the number 50 fuse. So we can come to the diagram on the inside, find our fuse right there. And it's gonna be this guy right here. Right, just like that. And then we can go ahead and plug our fuse extender into that same spot. Just like that. All right, so now we can go ahead and put our fuse box cover back on. Make sure not to pinch the wire as you put this back on. And we're all good to go. All right, so now we can go ahead and put our bumper back on. So we have these little brackets here that I taped around just to hold them in place so we don't have to fish a hand through there. Now we can take our 18mm socket and snug everything up. All right, so now we can reinstall our bolts on the side. And then using the 13mm socket to snug them up. And now we can repeat that same process on the other side. All right, so now our next step is to reinstall our grill. So we can push in those push clips on the bottom and reinstall our 4 10mm screws up top. All right, now that we have our grill back on, our installation is complete.
So that's going to wrap up our review and install of the Morimoto XB Hybrid LED headlights for the 2011 to 2016 Ford F-250 Super Duty. Thanks so much for joining us, and for all things Super Duty, be sure to keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.